Dear students, this is the final revision for the CBSE Grade 10 Board Examination 2025. So, in this module, I'm not going to explain any particular questions, but we are going through the summary points and the types of questions what we can expect from each and every chapter. So, don't skip this video. It's a lengthy video, but it will help you to understand all the types of questions from different chapters. So, first, I'm entering to the chapter real numbers. The important equation is here. We can see that HCF A B, HCF of A comma B into LCM of A comma B is equal to A into B. This is one of the important equation. And prove that root 2, root 3 is irrational and prime factorization. These are the three main topics we have to learn from the chapter real numbers. So we can observe the questions. The sum of rational number and irrational number is always irrational. Whenever we add any irrational number to the rational, that will become irrational. So sum means addition. So this is the answer. Then LCM of numbers x and y, where y is multiple of x. Multiple of x is y, means y includes the factor x. X is the factor of y, means already y included x. So LCM means y will be the multiple. So y is the LCM and x is only a factor inside. If they are asking HCF, means common factor, means x will be the HCF. So next question, two positive integers a and b is there. A is xy cube and b is xy square. So prime factorization, xy cube, xy square, you can go for prime factorization, the common x and y square. So balance one y will be here 1 is there. So this xy square is the HCF, and when we multiply this 3 will get the LCM also. Here the question HCF, so xy square is the HCF. So here you can see that the questions are based on prime factorization. Similarly 98 we can go for factorization. We know that 2 into 49 is there, 7 into 7 is 49. So 2 into 7 square, or we can write 7 square into 2. So here also the question is based on prime factorization. Similarly here HCF 16 comma y is equal to 80, LCM 16 comma y is 48. Here we can use the idea LCM into HCF. LCM into HCF is equal to A into B. In the place of LCM you can write 48, and HCF place you can write 8, and A means 16, one number y that is missing. So this 16 and 8 you can cancel here 2 times, here 48 and 2 cancelling 24. So y is equal to 24. This is the correct answer. So dear children, here we understood the questions from chapter real numbers. The first type is based on factorization. So similar questions are there. I am not reading these all type of questions. Here also the factorization of 144 is there. Then we can write in exponential form. Then we can find out the exponent of 2. Similarly, LCM of two numbers is given 1200, which cannot be the HCF. What are the factors of 1200 that can be an HCF? If it is not a factor of 1200, here you can see that 500 is not a factor. So this will not be an HCF. Similarly, HCF of 12, 21, 15. We can go for the prime factorization, we get the answer. Next question, the LCM and HCF of two rational numbers are equal, then the numbers must be. LCM, HCF are equal means we know that that two numbers should be equal, then only it is possible. Then the ratio, next question, ratio of LCM, HCF. Whenever you see this word ratio, you can write that LCM divided by HCF. Ratio we may write in division form. Of least composite number. Least composite number is 4 and the least prime number is 2. So when you cancel this, you may get 2 by 1. 2 by 1 means 2 is to 1. Don't write answer 1 is to 2. The answer is 2 is to 1. Because first they used LCM. So LCM, here 2 stands for the part of LCM. So now you understood what are the MCQ questions we can expect from the chapter real numbers. Now we can move to short answer questions. Express each product by product of its prime factors. That means you can go for the prime factorization as we did, then we can write in exponential form. So these are the questions we can expect from first chapter, especially based on MCQs and based on prime factorization. Now Again, the questions are repeating different types. LCM, HCF is given. Root 3 is irrational. 8 raised to n. Can you see this question? 8 raised to n. Yes, 8 raised to n cannot end with the digit 0. This type of question we can expect for the examination. 8 raised to n means 2 cube. That means 2 cube all raised to n. Here the factor 2 only. 2 repeats many times. If 5 also coming, then only it will make the multiple of 10 and end with the digit 0. So we can write the answer 8 raised to n cannot end with the digit 0. The reason which has no factor 5. If a number ends with the digit 0, which should have factor 2 and 5. Then normal question, root 2 is irrational and 3 by 5 root 2. That means we want to write 3 by 5 root 2 in the form of p by q. Then we can transpose effectively. This q bring to this side. So 3q by 5p is equal to root 2 will be there. This is in the form of p by q, which is a rational, but it is a contradiction to our assumption. So that method we can utilize here. Then another type of question is there. Explain why this is a composite number. Very easy. Just identify the common factor. Here 17 is there. This is the first term. Why this is the first term? Here addition symbol is there. So this 17 is common, means 17 into the rest of the numbers, which means 17 is a factor. A factor is there other than that number and 1, it will be a composite number. So we'll write the reason 17 is the additional factor of the given number other than 1 and itself. So it is a composite number. Then another type question we can expect from this chapter, something related to word problems. Here you can see the question in a marathon. I'm reading this question number 10. In a marathon, 3 athletes step off together. They stance together. Each one steps measures 54 centimeter, 60 centimeter, 48 centimeter. What is the minimum? Minimum, another word is the least, and which should be common for these number. Each can cover it. That means it should be common for these 3. So least common. Whenever they are covering each steps means multiples are coming. So least common multiple. So we need to find the LCM of this question. When you find the LCM, you may get the least distance they cover each one to reach in the same common point. So this is one of the important type question we can expect from the chapter real numbers. Now next question, prove that root 5 is irrational, or it is given that, then we prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational. 3 plus 2 root 5 is irrational means we may write this is equal to p by q, and we will keep the 2 root 5 here and transpose that 3 to the right side, it will be minus 3. Then 2 root 5 is equal to, this is 3 means 3 by 1. After the cross multiplication, p into 1 p, q into 3, 3q all divided by q. This 2 also transposing to there, it will be p minus 3q divided by 2q. So root 5 we got in the form of p by q, but we know that in the question it is given a root 5 is irrational. So contradiction came, one mistake came, so we can tell that our assumption is wrong. This is not a rational number. Not a rational number means it's a irrational number. So these are the important questions. Then prove that root 7 is irrational as it is root 2 is irrational. Same method we can use it. Then length, breadth and height of a room are 8 meter 50 centimeter. 8 meter 50 centimeter means either you can convert into centimeter, that's better. So 850 centimeter we can write. Similarly 625 centimeter, 475 centimeter respectively. The longest road, the longest means highest. Measure these all dimensions. So it should be common for these 3 dimensions. Which should be a factor, then only we can exactly measuring exactly. So we need to find the HCF. So now you can understand how I find out the HCF or LCM, which we need to find out in this question. Similarly, the local bus services, 2 lines of buses starts from together at 8 a.m. Buses on a line leave after every 15 minutes, while buses B leave after 20 minutes in a day. How many times both line A, B leave together between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. So we need to find the same time of these 2. That means a common multiple should be found. Similarly, next question, bells commence tolling together 2, 4, 6, etc. minutes respectively. 30 minutes, how many times do they all together? That means beginning together. So again, beginning means least time. Again together begins means the least time. Then it should be common for this also, least common multiple is required. So I think now you understood what are the type of questions we can expect from the chapter real numbers. Now I wanted to move to the next chapter. Before that, some case study questions also we can expect, but the case study questions also based on either LCM or HCF, what we discussed previously. Here the question circular path is there. Kamal takes 32 minutes and the other one Rahul takes 24 minutes. So these questions are related to the word problems what we discussed already, which is either by finding HCF or by finding LCM we get the answers. So please go through these type of questions. Then assertion type questions. Most probably the assertion question is based on HCF LCM relation. We studied that HCF into LCM is equal to A into B. So the reason, most probably the statements may be correct, but we should check that is there any connection or not. Then only we can tell the reason is the correct reason of the assertion. So that's very important. What are the questions we discussed? These are the main types of questions we can expect from the chapter real numbers. Now we are moving to the chapter polynomials. Polynomial, it is very important. Some equations are there. Alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Alpha beta is equal to c by a. Now linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial. It is very important. Quadratic polynomial, how to find the zeros of the polynomial. So some questions are here. We can see zeros is minus 5. Their product is 6. So quadratic polynomial, sum of whose zeros is given minus 5. So sum of zeros, alpha plus beta is equal to minus 5 and product is alpha beta is equal to 6. Now one equation is there, one shortcut equation to make the quadratic polynomial, that is x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. In this equation, alpha plus beta place we can give the sum and alpha beta place we can give the product what is given in the question. So we get the quadratic equation x square plus 5x plus 6. This is the easiest method of making quadratic equation by using the zeros of the given polynomial. The next question, zeros of the quadratic polynomial are equal. Then if the zeros are equal means in quadratic equation we studied one equation b square minus 4ac equal to 0, same. This is called discriminant. It can be used here also. So we can understand that both will be same. Similarly, some questions are there, something related to alpha plus beta. Then another type question is there. What is that? Find quadratic polynomial by using zeros. Here 0 is alpha, beta is root 5. The same equation what we used, x square minus of alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta can be used. So you may get the quadratic equation. Now find the value of x in the polynomial. This is a plus x is one of its factor. A plus x is one of the factor means instead of this a, actually in this question, listen very carefully, here the quadratic equation not in x but in a, because 2a square. So a is instead of x. So in the place of a you can give that a plus x, because that is one of the 0. So after giving that you can solve the equation, you may get the value of x, because x is one of the unknown variable. Then how many zeros does a polynomial have? A quadratic polynomial have only 2 zeros. So just to expand this, you can understand it will be a quadratic equation. Quadratic polynomial means it has 2 zeros. Then, so mainly from this practice questions we understood this a plus 1 or the unknown terms we can find out. It will be given that sum of the zeros, and if the sum of the zeros of this polynomial is minus 1, that means alpha plus beta is given minus 1. Instead of alpha plus beta, we can use minus b by a. Minus b means the coefficient of x, that means 2a plus 3. And a means a plus 1. This we can insert here and solve it. You may get the answer. So now I'm not explaining the all answers. It will not be possible in this short span of time, but we can understand that these are the type of questions already we studied. Just go through this one. It may help you to understand better about your question paper. Then another type question is the minus 2 alpha minus 2 beta. Another polynomial need to make with zeros minus 2 alpha minus 2 beta. First we can find out alpha beta from this question, then change into minus 2 alpha minus 2 beta, then use our equation x square minus of alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta. In the place of alpha you should give 2 alpha, in the place of beta you should give 2 beta, not 2 alpha minus 2 alpha minus 2 beta. Similarly here minus 2 alpha minus 2 beta, when we multiply minus and minus it will become plus. So these are the main types of questions we can expect on zeros of the polynomial. Then some word problems are here. From this picture, just observe it. This is a parabolic shape. This intersect on x-axis. This intersect on this 0. So x is equal to 0 is here. Here x is equal to 4 is there. These are alpha beta. Alpha beta means zeros of the polynomial. So these are the type of questions we can expect from the polynomial. Can you say the zeros of the polynomial by looking this figure? Here 0 is there. So x is equal to 0 is there. Here x is equal to 5 is there. 0 is the alpha, 5 is the beta. Then some word problems are there which is also connected to zeros of the polynomial. So quadratic polynomial is there. Find the value of alpha plus beta. First we need to find the zeros alpha beta from the given question. Later we can answer these questions. Now the next chapter, pair of linear equations. Pair of linear equations, we studied the coefficients, relationship between the coefficients and the solution. So coefficients means actual equation. We know that a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. This is the standard form of the pair of linear equation, two variable. Here coefficient of x is a1, here coefficient of y is b1, here constant is c1. Similarly here it is a2, b2, c2. Now the relationship, when a1 by a2, b1 by 2 dividing time, if it is not equal to 0, not equal, both answers a1 by a2 and b1 by b2 answer is totally different, then the graph will be intersecting lines, like it will be like this. There will be unique solution. Unique solution means by checking this x value, one x answer will be there. By checking this y value, you may get the y answer also. So unique solution is there. This is one condition. Another condition, this condition is called unique solution, consistent, independent. Now, no solution, inconsistent. That means a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but it is not equal to c1 by c2, not equal to c1 by c2. In this case, the graph will be like a parallel line, either like this or like this. Anyway, this will be parallel. Parallel means there is no intersecting point, means no solution. That's why a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, not equal to c1 by c2, then there is no solution. The next question, infinite number of solutions, not next question, but next condition. If all ratios are same, a1 by a2, b1 by b2, c1 by c2 are equal, then line will be coincident, two lines will be together. That means one upon another. Then all are intersecting points. All are intersecting points means infinitely many solutions are there. There is no unique solution, but all are solutions. So these are the main points we need to study from the chapter, and also we need to study substitution method and elimination method. Now you can see that pair of equation x is equal to minus m, y is equal to n graphically represent lines which are intersecting, because whenever if you draw a graph, x is equal to minus m means it's a negative part. Through this it may be going on. X is always equal to minus m. So this will be that line, x is equal to minus m. And y is equal to, what is y? Y is equal to n. N is a positive number, y's value is here. Suppose here it is n, then it will pass through like this. So this point minus m is x value and y value is n. So the solution is minus m comma n. So the answer is option D, intersecting at minus m comma n. This is the answer. I think you understood now. Okay. So another question, for what value of k do the equations, for what value of k do the equation 2x minus y plus 3 is equal to 0 and 6x minus ky plus 9 represent coincident? Coincident means say a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. Here a1 is 2, b1 is minus 1, not y, minus 1y. So minus 1 is the coefficient, 3 is there and 6 is there, minus k is there and 9 is there. So these values can be inserted here and we can solve it, then we will get the value of k. So we can check it. Similarly, many questions are there, and at last we can expect some questions, something from word problems. So from word problems, you can see that sum of two numbers. You can see here sum of two numbers is 49. One number is x, second number is y. Their sum is 49. Now the greater number, suppose x is the greater number that exceeds thrice the smaller number by 1. Smaller number is y. Then thrice of the smaller number means 3y. 1 is more, exceeds thrice the smaller number by 1 means 3y plus 1. So you get the answer, equation x is equal to 3y plus 1. This equation, that means x value you can insert in this place. You may get 3y plus 1 plus y is equal to 49. By solving this you will get y value. That y value insert here, you will get x value also. So these are the questions we can expect from the chapter, pair of linear equations in two variables. Then some questions are there related to train, related to rectangle. What's the speciality of this rectangle? 3x plus y and these opposite sides will be equal. So you may get the equation 3x plus y is equal to 7. Similarly, this 13 will be equal to this one, x plus 3y is equal to 13. Now by using substitution method, you can solve it and you may get the value of x and y. The next question, you may feel that it's a difficult. Actually, it's a simple question. Just go for the cross multiplication. So x into 4 is equal to 4x, 3 into y is equal to 3y, and 3 into 4 is equal to 12, which is equal to 4. This 12 transpose to here, you will get to 4x plus 3y is equal to 4 into 12. So 48. So you get a simple form of a linear equation. Similarly, you can make this equation also. Then after you can go for substitution method or elimination method. Now some word problems are given. In this word problem also read carefully and convert into linear equations. So I think now we discussed many questions from pair of linear equations, polynomial and real numbers. The rest of the questions will be discussed in next video. Thank you.